Hi guys, as usual, you know the drill. All the necessary links in the video description and my test system setup details also in the video description. So what do we have here? If you're one of the guys following my IM reviews, you may have noticed that I'm trying to review all interesting newcomers when it comes to true wireless IMs with active noise cancellation. That's because I'm commuting a lot and I'm flying on a regular basis, and active noise cancelling IMs are making my life much easier. So today we'll be looking at Soundpeats H3 that I got about 2 or maybe 3 weeks ago from Amazon. The regular Soundpeats price is $149 on their portal, but I got them for $127 on Amazon. The Amazon price is significantly lower, and it's also lower than AliExpress price for some kind of reason. Okay, so since those are making my life easier, especially when I'm commuting, so that's on a daily basis, I'm always on the hunt for the best mobile experience. And Soundpeats H3 got my attention because of its hybrid nature. These are not single dynamic drivers as most of the competition. These are dynamic driver, 12 millimeters dynamic driver, so quite a large dynamic driver, and two balanced armatures enclosed in the small case in every single one of them. You have one dynamic driver and two balanced armatures. It also has active noise cancelling that's using 6 microphones arrays, 3 microphones per channel. And this microphone array and active noise cancelling is supposed to lower the noise by up to 55 decibels, so that's a lot. Specification says they are good up to 7 hours on single charge with ANC off and 4 hours with ANC on. Case has a quick charging and gets you total 57 hours of listening to your music. So now let's talk about the specification. It's a hybrid. It's using Qualcomm QCC 3091 with Snapdragon Sound moniker, and that means that it supports LDAC and aptX lossless, and this Qualcomm IC means Bluetooth 5.4 support. I couldn't find any data on frequency response and impedance and sensitivity, but the last two are basically irrelevant, as true wireless IMs are using internal amplifiers that are designed to match the drivers they are driving. So yes, these are missing the frequency response data, but from my listening sessions from the last 2 weeks when I was using them on daily basis, I can say that the frequency response is anything between regular, let's say 20 Hz and 20 kHz. They are not missing anything in the lower end of the spectrum, and they are not missing anything in the high end of the treble. So let's talk about the build and comfort. If you take a look at them, you'll see that they are made of plastic. Yes, and you can see that in this translucent chassis, we have a dynamic driver. Let's use my pointer because it's smaller than my finger. Yeah, inside there you can see the round dynamic driver. And I'm not sure if I'll be able to get the focus properly. Yes, I am. But if you take a look, you can easily see the copper ring of the coil, and you can see that the actual membrane looks like a cellulose membrane that's found in Denons and in other high-end headphones. You can also see that we have two BA drivers close to the nozzle over here. The nozzle is metal. It looks like it would be removable, but it's not. So it's just mounted in the plastic shell. You can see 3 microphones. The first one is on top here. the second one was on the bottom, and there's also a third one hidden here. Yeah, so they look very nice. They are very, very lightweight because of this translucent plastic. As you can see, they are shaped to follow the inner shape of the ear. So they are very comfortable to wear, and you immediately forget that you're actually wearing anything in your ears. They are very light. The plastic has this warm, nice warm feeling. Yeah, that's about them, and I like them. They look nice. They look different. They are not black around regular items. They look really nice and interesting. I would dare to say that they look like jewelry with this gold-plated look underneath. Yeah, the charging case. The charging case is made of plastic. The upper part is translucent. This chrome or gold-plated part looks nice, but at the same time it looks a little bit cheap, though I do like the match of the gold with black here. That internal part here has a plastic mold that looks like fox leather, and you can see the logo, not exactly the logo, but you can see the slogan. Here the difference here. Internal, it's also nice. You can see two gold-plated contact points for each of the headphones. Now, the thing is that, let me clear that up, and I wanted to tell you about something interesting. This is a translucent plastic, and the theory says that it should be catching all the scratches like crazy. But the specification for those headphones says that it's covered in some kind of scratch-resistant layer. I think this is something like you can get for your car to protect the paint. It's called nano coating usually. It's not, how do you call that? It's not quartz coating, but this is nano coating. And I think that's the case because it has this very smooth, very slick feeling. It's not slippery, but it's very smooth. So basically, yes, I can confirm it works. And the same layer seems to be placed on the headphones themselves. The same coat is probably on the headphones, because after a little over than 2 weeks of constant use, I cannot see any single scratch over here. And I was placing them in my jeans pockets, in my backpack, etc. And they do have no scratches. So still, I would recommend getting something like those rubber covers that I got for all of my other wireless items, if they will be available, because I don't think they are at the moment, because this is a very new headphone on the market. So they look nice, they feel very good in my ears. Additionally, they have IPX5 water resistance, and they are very comfortable to wear. Now, let's talk about the application for them, or maybe let's talk about the box contents. The box is quite nice. I think this is the first time when I'm seeing so small cardboard box that actually uses magnets for closing. And you do get a full set of silicone tips in different sizes for your ears. I wasn't using them because I have a quite large collection that I can show you if I'll find the box. Yeah, and this is just a part of my collection, so I'm always using the ones that I love. And let's talk about the application. So let's pop them in. They are placed in magnetic cradles, so they are just being sucked in. And let's zoom out a little so you'll be able to see my application here. And okay, so let's take them out. They will do auto connect, right now. Let's unlock my tablet. Yep, it's unlocked. And let's start the Soundpeats application. Well, they should be connecting right now. Sorry, I had the application started earlier. So let's start it from scratch. Yeah, navigate to home. Yes, yeah, it takes a few seconds to update the logo, the picture here. I don't know why. Since I'm working in IT, I would do something like caching of this particular picture on the device. But what you can see here, you can see that we have battery status for both of the channels. You can see that the chassis still holds 50% of the charge, and that's after a full week of commuting. I was using them on the daily basis for the last week, and I think I was charging the case last weekend, but not because it was empty, but because I had a couple of minutes and I thought that I'll connect that to the charger. Now, by default, no ANC mode is enabled. You can enable ANC, and once you do that, you can choose the mode for the ANC, and you can select between adaptive noise reduction, indoor, outdoor, and outdoor transportation. As you can see, I was using it with outdoor transportation, but the adaptive mode works nicely too. You can choose the transparency mode, and this is exactly what the name implies. So you'll be hearing your surroundings with the inbuilt microphones. And the normal regular mode just disables ANC, disables microphone arrays for transparency, and you can wear them like regular wireless IAMs without any kind of ANC. So let's leave it on ANC. Now, this one is very common to all of the IAMs. You can define your own actions for the touches on the plates on the IAMs, because they can be controlled by the touch sensitive plates here. Now, the second one is very nice because it's EQ. And this is a very interesting EQ because it does have sound profiles, which are nice, but I wasn't using them at all. And you have two things interesting here. The first one is a regular equalizer that allows you to define your own curve. Yeah, and the second one is adaptive equalizer, which actually learns your ear frequency response. Maybe not response, but the way you hear the sounds. It works like that. At the beginning, this is a translation error. These are only two fields, the only two fields that I found in the whole application that are not translated to English, although they are pretty self-explanatory. This one means save and apply, and this one means reset. If you reset the process, the application will ask you to go to some quiet place, and it will start emitting the sound with different frequencies through your IAMs, so you'll be able to confirm whenever you hear or you cannot hear the sound. And there is one caveat. The thing is that this is called audiogram basically, but with most applications that I was using for that, you were able to confirm that you're hearing the sound when the gain, the sound level was at the level that you could actually hear. But if you couldn't hear the sound, you were using some kind of button to say the next one, go ahead, etc., etc. In this case, the sounds are changing on their own quite quickly. So if you hear the sound, you have to just tap yes, 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 no, yes, no. Because if you'll be waiting for the next sound or for the sound, the application will assume that you do not hear the sound that it's playing at the moment. I know it sounds weird. I'm not sure if I explained that right, but once you try that for the first time and you'll see your frequency graph looking like that, you'll understand what I mean. So anyway, you can see that the application decided to boost the treble for me by about 1 decibel, and it starts somewhere around 1.3, 1.4 kilohertz. but other than that, for my ears, the decided frequency response is pretty flat, which is nice. Okay, so I've told you the equalizer settings. I've talked about them. You can change the language and the sound of the prompt sounds. The default language is English, and the prompts are very clean and very nice. You can actually hear the treble extension with them very good. You can disable touch controls. You can enable LDAC. LDAC is disabled by default because LDAC is not a low latency codec. If you want to have some fun with your games, you will need low latency, and that's here called game mode. But in order to enable game mode, you need to disable LDAC. These can work with two devices, not at the same time, but you can enable that here. Sorry, I was wrong. Yes, I've tested that with my PC. If you'll enable that, you will be able to use both devices at the same time, but you won't be able, as far as I remember, to use LDAC because LDAC uses higher bandwidth. Yes, you can do a fit test. It'll start the sounds, and it'll check if your tips that you chose are sealing your ear correctly. What else? You can emit the sound to find them. Let's try that. It's not very loud still, yeah, but yeah, you can hear that. Okay, so what else do we have here? Yeah, user guide, device info, and firmware upgrade. At the moment of the recording of this review, the latest version is 0.4.9, and I'm running the latest version. Okay, so that's about the application. Now let's talk about the sound quality, because that's the most important thing about those guys, except for the gold understated looks. And that's what you're probably most interested in, as I was. So the bass. The first thing you'll hear is deep and powerful bass. It's warm in a way only dynamic drivers can provide. It's not planar level fast, and it's not super detailed, but it fills the space with very low organic rumble. The mid bass delivers this warmth, and there is a lot of it, but not to the point of flooding the mid-range. Again, it goes really deep and sounds very organic. That's probably because of these drivers that, as I said, look very cellulose-like to me. And if you've ever heard cellulose dynamic drivers, you will immediately know what I'm talking about. The mid-range. The mid-range is clean and transparent. Vocals sound natural, and the surprise for me was a surprise for me because I expected armature signature, meaning slightly dry sound. The vocals are not dry at all. They are organic, so maybe dynamic driver covers also some parts or all of mid-range. There is no sibilance, and I'm on the fence when it comes to the detail here. With some of the tracks, there is plenty of detail. With some, a little less, but it's still on the flagship level. What I mean by flagship level, we'll get to that in the later part of the review. Now, the treble. The treble is smooth and non-fatiguing. It's also nicely extended and detailed. Extension and detail, that's something that you will expect from balanced armature drivers. Again, I expected BA drivers clarity with some dryness, but what I got was smoothness and clarity. I am not able to tell these even have balanced armature inside. The top end is open and musical. And I think this is a very high price here, because usually balanced armatures do have this signature sound quality that some of the people like and some of the people dislike, meaning that they are fast, they are precise, but at the same time they can sound dry. These ones do not sound like that. They are clean, they are precise, but they are also smooth. So, as I've said, it's very hard to tell that these are amateurs just by listening to them. So, the top end is open and musical. Now, moving on to detail. Now, the detail is weird. With some tracks, it's excellent, but with others, it's just very good. Just very good. It's like some frequency ranges would be more detailed than others. For example, guitars have more resolution to me than vocals. Vocals are all about timbre, while guitars also do get these harmonic sounds of vibrating strings. Uh, I think you know what I mean by that. If you've ever heard vibrating string, you'll remember that this is not a single sound. With good quality components, headphones, earphones, or speakers, the vibrating string will give you many harmonic sounds at the same time. Not just one single but a lot of harmonic sounds. And it's all there here for the sounds like strings. Now, Soundstage and imaging. Soundstage is a very nice surprise as it's very wide and way deeper than even with most wired IMs. You can clearly hear things happening wide on the sides, and some do seem to come from the outside of your head. This is really nice, even when compared to some of the wired IMs I own. So they have very good layering and very good center image. You can easily point all the sound sources. A really, really good imaging with those small guys. And that covers most of the sound signature. Let's move to the summary. Now I'd like to circle back to the beginning for a second. If you remember, I've paid for those $127. That's, let's say, a mid-range price, right? But what you get here is a flagship level sound comparable with all big brands. And all big brands meaning Technics, that were the 80s. These are 100s, I think. And we have Denon Pearls here. And we have top of the line Panasonic here. And if you recall my other reviews, I've also owned all of the Barros and Wilkins ones. So both from the first generation and both from the second generation. And I also owned in my time Sony's MX3 and MX4s, and I sold them. So basically, these guys are comparable to all those here. Yeah, and as I said, I'd like to have the rubber cover for them too. So I think that the key to the success is that these are hybrids. They are not just single driver dynamic stuff like others. So this makes Soundpeats H3 a great buy, as it's roughly 2 or 3 times cheaper than the rest of the bunch, than the guys that I've moved over here. Sound is on a flagship level, but the price is on a mid-range level for wireless IMs with ANC. Yes, I would wish for them to last a little bit longer, at least on paper, as in real life commuting I never got the batteries to the empty state. So this is more like I'm picking on those than having a real problem with the battery. And as you saw, the case still holds 50% charge after a full week of use. So on the other hand, I can confirm they do charge very quick. The official specification says that it's 10 minutes charge for the 2 hours of listening, and I can confirm, yes, it works like that. They charge very quick, and the case holds space power. As you saw, that's 50% left here, and that's still there after a full week of use. So these get my recommendation, but do try to get them through the Amazon rather than on AliExpress, as the Amazon price is for some reason significantly lower than Ali, at least at the moment that I'm doing this review. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked this video and that it helped you in some way. I'm watching the reviews made by other guys looking for help, so I'm hoping that I can give back something to the community by my reviews. I hope you liked this, I hope it helped you, and I really hope that you'll have a great day with your music. So, see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.